Hello everyone, this is Blankera, and welcome to my universe. So today, I think it is time to go and finish off her coat. There's a few things I've been looking at, like I think her belt is still a little bit stiff. I think I know what to do to fix it, but I'm like, you know what, man? I want to do the coat. I have been wanting to do the coat for days now. I just needed to do the skirt area first, so that this way everything on the model here from like the waist up, the thing that would actually show in the model sitting here next to me, would actually be showing up. So I wanted to do those things first. But now I get to do the coat, so I'm gonna do the coat. And I'll worry about some of these other things later. I want to do the coat. So let's see, I will call you Coat Cape Physics. Here we go. So this is going to be all of the lower part of the coat. I will move the belts very slightly here. But not very much. Not very much at all. Because they are going to get their own physics. I'm going to keep them looking like they're floating. It's fine. It's anime. I mean, maybe it would make more sense for them to, especially this one, to be a little bit less out like that, but I don't really care, so... I want to do what's fun. Okay. So let's see, how do I want to go about this? I think I'm just gonna grab it all. Minus belts. I'll move the belts separately, I think. And I will just move them on over. So we have you. Trying to remember what layers are involved here. We have you, and my goodness, look at all those dots. Man, Pasself, you worked so hard. You worked so hard. Oh, but it's too much. Okay. So I think this is what I want to grab. And we're just gonna get a big brush here. It's gonna be giant. Okay, maybe not quite that giant, but still just very, very large. Yeah, that seems good. And then I am just gonna... Did I select a vertex somewhere? Why is nothing moving? Well, shoot. Okay, I must have selected a vertex somewhere. No, this is strange. Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but now I have my brush size, so I'm gonna try selecting everything again. We will select you, and you, and you, and you. Okay, let's try that again. Why is it not moving? Am I in the animation timeline somehow? Oh, I must have been. No, I couldn't have been. Okay, let me try selecting one, and... That is... bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna try restarting Inochi real quick because I was editing an animation earlier, or maybe I should just go over here and back and try. I was editing an animation earlier before I opened this, and it may just be disagreeing. So let's see, I haven't made any changes, so I'm just gonna exit out. And I will be right back, I suppose. Give me just a moment here to try to fix this. Oh yeah, and if you're ever curious about what the nag screen looks like, this is the only difference between the paid version and the free version. Still, BRB. I don't want people peeking into how I open my files and stuff. Okay. Alright, let's see if this fixed it. I'll keep that up. Let me just prepare my work area here. I like having all the things minimized. That's like the whole reason I make groups. Okay, and if I make my parameter again, I still like coat, cape, physics. And I go in and try to arm you. Can I move stuff? Okay, we're good. Note to self. Do not open a new project when you're editing something in the animation timeline. It very much confuses the program. I have learned something new today. Okay. Let's try that again. So first, I'm gonna get my big old brush. Yeah, that seems quite good. And I will just push everything on over here. There is gonna be so much switching. It's gonna be great. So for this initial portion, I'm just moving everything together. And once I get the basic idea down, I'm gonna go in and edit the layers individually. But this is the kind of feeling that I want. I'll make all this less lumpy on the side there. It's fine for it to be a little bit lumpy right now. Seems good. And then I'll make sure that it's not like, you know, clipping out there and, you know, all the weird lumpiness going on over here. This is fine. It'll get fixed. But I think I like this as a general starting point. And I do think the belts have to move a little bit along with it, otherwise it'll look a little strange. I think I will hide the belts for now, though. I want to keep the belt loops, I just don't want the belt flippy. Okay, there we go. You're fine. Let's get rid of the buckle and the back part. And over here, let's see, I have a... No, that part's fine. That part's fine. It's just the lower parts that I really want to get rid of. Okay, I need to get rid of the shadow too. Okay. There we go. So now I think I have everything that's relevant to me in the moment visible and ready to work on. So now this is where I start getting my smaller brushes and go in and just fix everything up here. I don't really want to move the top half at all. This is strictly for the lower portion of her coat. The upper portion has its own physics. And I kind of want to swing this guy here out like that. Yeah. That should make it look nice and swingy. Alright, then I just want to clean things up a bit. Get everything nice and smooth. Kinda fix all the inevitable problems that comes with doing big movements with a brush. There we go. And then I think I still want to flip out this corner a little bit more. Just have it go whoosh. The whoosh is as important as always. The sound effects are always very important. Okay, and I will adjust kind of the seam to go with it, while kind of flipping this inner part out. That's why I'm okay with making this part look like it's a little bit thinner than it was. Because it's coming toward the viewer a little bit more. It's getting more flipped out. Or just making the edge very, very flippy. Everything will be moving out all over the place. Okay, and here I am just smoothing out this line a bit. I want it to be have a little curl at the bottom there. I think that'll make it look like it's got a little bit of a flap to it. It'll just be flopping around in the wind. And I think that will just make the movement that much more fun. So this is why physics is fun, because it's just all about making all of the movements seem more fun. That is pretty much what it's about. Not necessarily about realism or what makes sense, just what makes it more fun. And it's part of why I look forward to it so much. And why I'm still doing things for the lower body, even though in a lot of models like this, you don't often see the lower body. I don't care, it's just so much fun. It's such a good time. It's wonderful. Alright, how's that? I want to smooth out that corner a little bit more. We're gonna flip this back a little bit more. I want it to look just a little bit flatter, because right now it's still got kind of that sharp corner to it, and I think that stops it from coming forward. So I'm gonna try to lessen out that sharp corner. I don't think I can completely get rid of it, but I think a shape like this will do something close enough to what I'm trying to do. And then over here, I just felt like the transition form, where it's getting really flippy, to up here where it's a little bit less flippy, was a little bit too sharp. And of course, this is a leather coat. That is how I am interpreting how it looks. So, I mean, I don't want things to be too flippy. Leather is a fairly stiff material, so it still needs to have that leathery stiffness to it. So I'm kind of smoothing out this seam a little bit too. I don't mind the little bounce there because there's a highlight, so it probably does come up a little. This seems fine. I think that's going to be too thin. Let's see how it actually looks in motion. Yeah. Doesn't quite read. So there's kind of two ways I could handle this. I could either flip this side out more, or I could take back what I was doing over here a little bit. And I do think it makes more sense to take back what I was doing there a little bit. This is another one of those cases of I had a vision that did not quite pan out, and I'm a little bit sad. But it happens. The difference in width between the two areas was just too much, though. Man, can I actually... I don't think I can go back far enough to... Yeah. I cannot. Because at this point, I'm kind of tempted to start again. I think I can just do it for this portion. Because I think I messed it up enough that it would be kind of hard to save. So let's try again. This time I won't flip up this portion quite as hard. Because it didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. And these things do happen. It is fine. I will still make it quite flippy, though. Maybe I can't have all my fun, but I'm pretty sure I can have most of it. So... let's smooth some of this out a little bit and just pull the corner up a little bit. I think I can still do that much. Okay, now I kind of want the other kind of brush. And I will start smoothing all of the vertices here. So that hopefully there are not so many just lumps and big jagged areas. And I'll just keep poking at it until it doesn't seem quite so lumpy. Shalom's coat, definitely not lumpy. Alright, and is it in the right place here? I can't tell, so I'm gonna go ahead and hide the belt there. Okay. It was mostly good, but I wanted to connect a little bit more smoothly. There we go. That should be good. And if I feel like I need to move the upper area, I will just make a new parameter for that. Okay, there we go. I want to keep that visible. Okay, and now I'll just go through and continue smoothing all of this out. Back to what I was doing before. But hopefully now with a little bit more success. So I just take what I got and make it better. Alright, there we go. I think I got that side good, so let's touch up this inner part now. And then I can actually properly connect the back of the coat again. And the shadow here too. There is a shadow cast by the outside parts of the coat here. And currently it's sitting over here. Even though the coat's over here. It's okay. That's one of those things that'll get moved over once I'm ready. But I always like to know where the thing that the shadow is cast from is actually going to be sitting before I start moving the shadow around. It just makes more sense. Alright, how is that? Does that look better? It's a little short, actually. I need to make it longer. Okay. Shapes are fine, though. I think all of that is looking okay, so I will just grab the bottom here and make it a little bit longer. See, this is exactly why I wanted to check before moving anything else over. And I think I still want to flip that corner just a little bit more. Okay, this seems good. I think I can be happy with that. Just a little bit of blowing there. Alright, before I move over to this side, I'm gonna go ahead and connect everything on this side. I will just do this entire right side first. And then I will worry about the left. This, of course, being her right and left as opposed to mine. Because, like, if we're basing it on our left and right, this would be the left. But, you know, this is her right, so we call it the right. There we go. Okay, and before I check it, I want to move the shadow over too. No, body shadows are fine. I'm not moving the body here. Although, actually, now that I think about it, on my skirt physics, I might actually want to move those a little bit. You know, I should do that before I forget. So, let me go back over to the skirt physics. And where I'm doing stuff here, where I'm making everything swishy, indeed, I didn't actually realize the draw order was like that. I should move the coat body shadows just a little bit here. I completely forgot about them while I was rigging this. Shouldn't be too hard, but I want to make sure that everything here looks as good as I can make it. And forgetting some shadows would be perhaps a little bit sad. And this is going to be toward the bottom of the skirt there. Huh. I'm not sure what these extra shadows over here are. I hope they're not coat shadows that I just did not properly separate. But I guess I'll find out shortly. Looks like I also didn't quite make them long enough. Which is interesting. Because, yeah, they don't actually come all the way out there. Oh, that's fine. They don't need to. I'll try to keep it fairly consistent to where they're cut off in the original. Just because they are, unfortunately, going to be a little bit hard for me to test, since I cannot just move a physic around after I have attached it to a pendulum. That is always why I try to make sure that they look good before I do any of that. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I can just keep this pretty quick and dirty and it'll be fine. I will move her around a bit before I call it good, though, just to make sure that nothing else needs a little bit of fixing up. Okay. Then unfortunately it looks like I'm gonna have to check out a bunch of the little keyframes throughout here, just to make sure that everything lines up nicely. Okay, that seems all fine. But yeah, I can see some of those shadows are sticking out a little bit more than they should, so I gotta fix them. Okay, that should be good. So let me make sure that nothing seems obviously wrong here with the shadows. I don't know. Right there, it still doesn't seem quite right, so let me... Maybe it's just because of the basic skirt physics. Yeah, I also move things around a little bit here, so I should adjust them. I just completely forgot about these guys. Sorry about that, little shadows. But you are important, so I want to make sure that I get you guys in there. I just rigged this entire thing with the code off, so I just forgot about this little detail. And how important it all is. Easy to do when there's 300 layers of stuff. But you can see, I'm not being super precise or anything. I'm just getting the general gist, and I think it'll be fine with just that much. As long as it follows the correct logic. It's now just a matter of checking all of the corners, and then I think it'll all be good. Okay. Let's see how they're doing now. No, I still see some problems with those shadows. What other kinds of skirt physics do I have? Because I thought the rest was kind of about the belt and stuff, because I don't think I moved the skirt at all down here. Nope. This is gonna be belt, and I do not think I touch anything down there. Nope. Flippy just does the flippy, which does not move the skirt at all. This is still more flippy. Yep. The skirt physics I just fixed up, so I do not think there's really going to be a lot of problems there. No, not really. And the swish, I just checked. Ah, I see. Oh, and I didn't get the left right. Okay, that would do it. That would do it. Gotta be more careful. Gotta be more careful there. Okay. We'll go over all the keyframes one more time then. Clearly, I was rushing just a little bit too much. What can I say? I am eager to work on the coat. I have been looking forward to working on the coat. Quite a lot. Okay, yeah, it looks like a lot of these little in-between keyframes are not handling the shadows properly, so I gotta go fix them a little. Oh, it's because you aren't. Yeah, you're supposed to be up here. I just did that part wrong. It's probably freaking out a lot of the keyframes here, so let me just unset you. We'll see if it needs to be... Oops. I didn't mean to do that one, but I guess it's fine. Oh yeah, we'll see how many of these actually need to be set, or if I can just properly set them on the sides here. And that'll take care of everything. Not quite, but close. To be fair, they do need to be quite long, so... Just gonna unset them before trying again to see if they work out for me. They may or may not. Yeah, I think you are fine. This is incidentally why I tend to not have a ton of keyframes, and I try to keep it to the default, what? The 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just all of those. Because every one I add is just another little complication that I have to deal with. Okay, no, I think that one's okay. It just sometimes it's necessary. Okay. Let's see how it looks now. Much better. Though I'm not quite satisfied with the shadows over there. Actually... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they look good. So let me actually look at how it looks here, because, yeah, it doesn't go all the way around. Okay. It doesn't go all the way around, it just kind of sits in that spot underneath here, so I will mostly try to set it underneath there. So this part is actually over here now, so I will bring it over there. We just won't have a shadow there. That's probably okay. And then I will have to set all of these tiny little areas individually, unfortunately. It's kind of worked out that way. Okay, this might be fine. Okay, in that case it tells me it's probably the other physics parameter, where I do not have this properly set. Yeah, so over there is a little bit too big. I was trying to cover a little bit too much when really just the shadow in the original just goes right there. Gotta keep it nice and simple. There we go, and I'm pretty sure I have to do the corners on my own since I have all of them set based on what I was doing on the other side. But that's okay. I think it'll still be pretty quick. Okay, that should make a big difference too. Okay, that seems better. Alright, I think I can be happy now. Just had to fix me a few shadows, although... What about you? No, not body XY. Let me see. Up here. Up here. Okay, no, I think I understand what I'm seeing there. I think this should be okay. Alright. Let's get back to the coat. If I change my mind and I'm not satisfied with the shadows at the end of this, then I will go back and fix them. But for now, I think this is okay. Oh. Fortunately, this is making me worried that indeed that layer that I saw with the body shadows, that this is just improperly cut. Ooh, that's actually kind of bad. Okay, let me think about how to approach this, because I don't want to redo the texture, but I think I can cheat and just remove the vertices around here. And if I do that, that should just not show the texture on this side, and that should get rid of all of those issues. A little bit of an ugly mesh because of it, but you know, that's fine. There we go. So now it should just not show that spot anymore. Oh. I think I have a triangle that's not... Yeah, missed a spot over here. Just want to make sure that this is not in there at all. Okay, there we go. So now it's not showing that little extra bit that I had in there. And I think that the skirt physics still look okay, so... I think all is well. Just a spot that wasn't drawn very well there. But now it's okay. All is okay. That would have been where it would have been nice to be able to go back in and just redraw it, but like I said, I don't trust redoing textures right now, so I'm just gonna do it like that. I think that it looks fine. I think it looks fine. Okay, and that seems good. So now let's straighten out the back of her coat here. Thinking about how I want to go about this. I want a little bit of flip here. Nothing too extravagant, but a little bit. And then I will just start straightening out various parts here. Just so things don't look quite so lumpy. I do not want to move the top too much, if at all. I'm being very careful around there. And then I will move things in. And I still feel like over there is a little bit lumpy. So I'm gonna try to slowly but surely work out those lumps, and the vertices here are extremely dense, which basically means that I'm not going to want to move them individually at all if I can help it. That's why I was like, oh, past self, you worked so hard. You were trying so hard to make sure that I'd have an easy time moving this, but... it just made things harder. This is too many. This is too many dots. Gotta cool it next time! Have a few less dots than this. It'll actually make it easier to move. Like, I think I hit the sweet spot pretty well on this side. This side is way too many, holy cow. Send help. Okay, still got a lump there, but before I do that, I want to see how it's moving. Seems okay. I think I can be happy with that. Up here, I think needs to come out a little bit. I don't want it to be moving a whole lot around the belt. I kind of want to make it look like the belt is at least kinda holding it in place. Like, it's not tied, so it's not going to be super tight or anything, but I just want to make it look like there's a little bit of resistance. And then it's just a matter of fixing the couple of lumps. Okay, yeah, that seems good. And then the shadows. I do not think I have to move these very much, but I kind of want them to still follow the coat here. Just so that this way, once I get to corners, that it'll at least be following the shape. Okay, so I think that should be good. I want this highlight to be a little thicker. Okay. I'm gonna move that highlight around just a little bit. Feels weird to be moving it further to the right here, but I think that will do what I want it to do. As long as it gets thicker, I think it'll still look like overall it is moving to the left and blowing in whatever imaginary wind is in my head. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Yay. How much of this can I get away with just mirroring? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say nothing. I'm just gonna just grab all the pieces and do it manually. Oops. Alas, it did not work. Okay. So now I just flip it out this way. Even if her skirt is on top on this side, which I think is fine, by the way. Maybe it looks a little weird, but whatever. It just hid behind her leg instead of going on top of her leg like this side does. I don't really want to mess with the layer order. I think there's a reason that I had it like that, so I'll just flip this out here now. Make it nice and flippy. And the rest, I think I will adjust manually. Because, yeah, in the default I see that the corner of the dress is there, and I actually think I still have my reference image open, so let me make sure it's like that in the original. It is not, actually. Okay, in that case, I think... I hate messing with the order, but... Wait. Oh shoot, I moved the wrong shadows on this side. Well, that's alright. I will move the right ones in a little bit. But first, I want to go ahead and fix a little bit of layer order stuff. So her skirt should actually be behind the coat there. Let me see if I can do that. So... you're gonna be up here. What's your number? 377. And the skirt... this is gonna be skirt back. I might just be able to move this one. You are 341. Can I make you like 390 without breaking anything? I can. Awesome. I think I will do that then. That was actually pretty straightforward. So all that number's doing is just saying which order that the layer should be drawn in. Like when you're working in a drawing program, the layers are drawn in the same order as on your layer stack, but here, because you want to sort them based on how things move, you just use the number instead. What number are you? 340. Okay. I might have to fix some of those numbers too. If I do 88, does that break anything? Okay, it breaks with the feet. But I can make the feet numbers super large, so I'm okay with this. I'm just gonna make them like 500. So things are gonna look strange for a second. The bigger number gets drawn last. So because I'm making these numbers quite large, they will be drawn after everything else. And that is why they're on the back. Okay. Oh, that's right, the flippy is its own layer. What did I just make you? 520. So you, I probably want to be like 519. And the triangle... is the triangle fine where it is? I think so. I think it's fine. And then what did I make for the other shoe? You were 500. So I can make you like 499. There we go, got it, and nothing is broken, so I'm gonna call this good. Okay, and so now the code is in front. This is a problem. This I can't easily put behind the coat. I don't have that problem on this side. So maybe... okay, maybe I can swish it right and it'll still look okay. By that, I mean I'm gonna go ahead and grab this, and I'm just gonna try to make it so that it will never cross paths with that part of the skirt. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Okay, this seems okay. I've got a fairly decent amount of distance there. So I think that'll be fine. Hooray! I'll call that good for now. We'll see if it breaks. If it does break, I will beat my head against the wall and try to figure out what to do later. But you know, if it's not broken, then why spend a bunch of effort trying to fix something that isn't even broken? It'll be fine. Okay. So I think that'll be good for this side. So let's smooth out this side. I think the amount of flippiness living in there is pretty okay. So all that's left to do is smooth it out. Get rid of all those lumps. Because oh boy are there a lot of lumps. It's okay, it kind of comes with the territory when using the brush, so I am used to dealing with it. And it's honestly not that bad. Right here I still feel like it's a little bit lumpy. There's a little bit of lumpiness through there. But I think I got rid of most of them. Okay, so yeah, that looks pretty smooth. I think that's good. Let me see how it moves so far. See if there's anything else I need to adjust there besides the shadow. I think it's moving a little bit too much up there. So I'm gonna bring some of that back just a little bit. But other than that, I think it's pretty okay. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid having it move too much near the top. I want this just to be a little bit of extra movement for the bottom piece. And I think in order to get this to move the way I want, it's probably going to require a second parameter. But the second parameter will be even further down, so I think that'll be even less likely to affect everything up top. I guess I can talk a little bit on why I think that stuff like this requires more than one parameter. And it's strictly that I find that the movement when you only use one parameter tends to be a little bit stiff. So sometimes I'll add like 2 or sometimes even 3 depending on where it is. Like the hair had 3. I think the hair actually had 4. And even parts of the hair look a little bit stiff to me still, so I might go back and rework them a little bit. Okay, this seems fine. But yeah, I just always find that the movement is a little bit smoother with the second parameter. Because especially for long things like the belt here or the bottom of the coat, it just makes them look like they swing a little bit more freely. So I can add a little bit of extra movement on the places that swing around the most, which is going to be like near the bottom, for example. Or how I added a little bit of extra movement to the belt loops on her skirt there, or the sleeves on her shirt. I needed a little bit of extra movement that if I tried to make everything else on there move more, it would have made it look incredibly silly. Just those kinds of things. Okay, and now that I have the shadows moved over, once again, I kind of want the highlight to be a little bit thicker. So I'm just gonna move a bunch of stuff back over here. Okay, how is this? I think this is fantastic. Alright, so now it's time to do the up and down. So once again, I think I will grab all of the layers and just kind of do the basics all together. So for up, I want everything to squish together, so this is where I'm gonna have to be careful because I do not want it to interact with her skirt too much. So I gotta be very careful with my squishing here. We'll just squish everything in. Yeah, there we go. That should be fine. It doesn't need to be, like, hugely bouncy or anything. I think I'll squish the inside just a little bit more. For that, I think I want to grab all the layers again. Just want to squish down here just a little bit more. Just a little bit. There we go. I think once I smooth that out, that should be perfect. Oh yeah, and I never actually checked to make sure I was properly connecting the coats here, and it does not appear like I am. Yep, I am not. So I should do that. I do not need to brush that large for this. Okay. There we go. Just slide that on over. I just want to make sure that the top and bottom half of the coat on this side are properly connected. See, on the other side, I don't have to worry about it so much because there's only one coat layer. But on this side, I needed to have the arm go underneath this part of the coat while simultaneously going on top of this part of the coat. And I still think it looks a bit strange, but that is how the art looked. So I just split it into 2 halves. I split it into 2 halves just for layer order shenanigans. Layer order shenanigans are the worst. Alright, well I guess while I'm up here, I'll go ahead and smooth things out up here. And actually, I guess before I do anything else, I will go ahead and connect the coats again, so I don't forget this time. Okay, and here I think it's... I want to straighten out there a little bit more, I think. Let's get this nice and smooth. I ended up having to pull that side out a little bit more than I think I was anticipating when I was doing the initial movement, so... just go ahead and smooth all of that out. It's like I think this angle is going to be a little bit easier than the bottom one, just because the bottom one is where everything gets to pan out. It's like the bottom one's a little bit harder, but it's also a bit more fun, so... You just turn everything into a fan. It'll be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it already. So for this one, since it's basically all defined by the outer pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and do both of them first, and then I'll worry about the inner parts. Alright, and I will stretch this out just a little bit, because I think that suits the feeling of being squished in when it looks like this already. You got those little inner parts kind of coming in a bit, so I'll let them come in a little bit more. I think that'll make the movement a little bit more fun there. Yeah, there we go. Now I think it's getting pretty smooth. And nice and sufficiently away from this part of the skirt, hopefully. Over here is still pretty lumpy, huh? I think I want to push the very top part out again. Which probably means that I need to propagate that change out just a little bit further here. Yeah, there we go. And now it's just a matter of getting rid of all those tiny little lumps. Because, yeah, there were a lot of spots down here that were still just a little bit lumpy. Just a bit. Hopefully I can get those in. I guess while I smooth this out, lately I've been thinking about trying to do some weight training again, try to get a little bit stronger, because there is only one place where I cannot quite keep up with my kids, and that is when they want me to, like, hold them and do something. Like, my son lately has been liking it when I hold him and then just kind of rapidly kind of twist my waist back and forth and let him go swishing around. Kind of like a little half spin, and he gets to spin around a bit, and he has a lot of fun with that. But my arms just get so tired after a while, and I would like to be able to keep doing it a little bit longer than I currently am. And I mean, if I keep doing it with the tiny one, then eventually I should get strong enough to handle it for longer periods of time, but I gotta say, toddlers make good weights. They are surprisingly heavy. But I'd like to be able to do that more. And when I get tired there, a lot of the times afterwards he'll ask me to bounce him on my leg or something. And I can do that for a while, but then my legs start getting tired. Because they're heavy, and when you're bouncing a heavy little toddler on your knee, your legs get tired. I started using muscles I didn't even know that I had. So, gotta say that having some tiny humans in my life is great motivation for wanting to get stronger. Just go out and be able to do more things. Just always hard because it's just hard to find time for everything I want to do. That's kind of the unfortunate part, because I also want to, get better at animation. I want to be able to make better models here, because I want to learn about tracking and how I can actually rig these things to track well with the tracking program. Because, I mean, it doesn't matter how good the movement is outside of the tracking program. That's just not what they're used for. So I want to understand those things better and all that. So it's like, man, when am I supposed to get stronger? When's this supposed to happen? I think I want all of the layers to go down a little bit more. So let me grab all of them. Get my big old brush one last time. And I will just do a little bit of pulling here. I don't want it to be too much, but I wanted a little bit more than what I had. And it doesn't really even look like I need to smooth it out, since that was pretty minor. And I think the back of the coat looks fine here, so I'm just going to worry about the shadows. I'll go ahead and do a little movement on the back of the coat, just so that the I don't know what you call this, the keyframe can be green, because it makes me happy. But I guess it already did do a little bit of movement, so it'll already be green. What am I even talking about? My brain is clearly a bit scattered. Okay, seems good. Let me make sure that everything is connected up here. With the way it was moving, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, it's not. I'm glad I checked. But with that fixed, I should be able to just go into the last keyframe there, and all should be well. Let me just straighten this out, because this is a little bit lumpy. Yeah, that's good. It'll give it one last look, and then I will go to the bottom one. Yeah. I don't mind that it's moving a little bit up there. I think that's an okay amount. Ooh. Back of the coat is going on top of her feet. I need to adjust my draw order here. So coat back should be like, I don't know, 550. You should be like the thing in the very back. Nothing should go behind you. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But as always, looks like corners are gonna be a bit of a thing. But before we worry about corners, I get to have a little bit more fun. So I'm just gonna take that out of my mind, and we're gonna go do fun things. Just gonna go wee. Alright. So this I want to go up and fan out just a bit here. Put a little bit of swish in there, and on this side too. There we go. Just like a parachute. That is always my comparison for how I rig physics like this. Up squeezes things together, and down makes them like a parachute. And this seems sufficiently parachute to me, so... Now it's just a matter of doing the last little bits and getting it clean. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one on a pendulum. It's gonna be great. It really is. Oh man, I just love putting physics on literally everything. You know, it doesn't have to be anything super dramatic or anything. Just a little bit of extra bounciness. It's just so much fun. And I love it. It makes me so happy. Alright, let me smooth all this out, and then I'll make sure that it's all connected to the other half of her coat. Okay, let me actually check for the connection now. Because yeah, it is not. Okay, this seems fine to me, so now it's just a matter of getting everything smooth again. One more time here. I feel like that's always half the work with the rigging here. Just, you know, getting everything into its, like, initial location, pretty easy. Getting it to be smooth and having it move nicely, it takes a little bit more effort. Really does. Okay, and then the seam here. What do I want to do with you? I just don't like the way it's like here and then it has a very sudden change. I think for this angle, like on the left, I let it kind of go that way a little bit more because, well, I mean, everything's kind of being pushed to the left. But here, I think I want to keep it a little bit more central and a little bit more straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of push it back over here. It's like this is supposed to be more like a fan, not the thing moving to the left. So I think that's how I will do it. And that seems fine to me. Yep, that seems fine. So I'll go ahead and smooth out the other side. I decided I felt like doing that before doing the back this time. It's like I think when I did the left side, I wanted to do the entire left side first. But as always, a lot of those, the order that I do things in is entirely arbitrary. So I decided I wanted to do it in this order this time. And that is fine. You can do it whatever order you want, as long as it all gets done. Okay, and how do I want to do the back? If it's fanning out, yeah, if it's fanning out, I think I want to kinda make it look like it's going backwards a little bit, away from the viewer. So that'll be a motion kind of like this. Where it goes out like that, and then I pull the corners down a little. I think that'll look pretty good. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So let me check the shadows. Make sure that they are in good spots. And I think that's it for that keyframe. Look how floppy it all is. Oh my gosh. Okay, the bottom corners aren't that bad. It's just the upward ones. I'll take it. But I do have some things that I need to kind of clean up on the bottom corners. Actually, before I do the bottom corner, are you attached? Yes, you are. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the little bit of cleaning necessary here. It's not so bad, but I do need to clean it a little bit, because there were some spots that were just a little bit lumpy. But the fact that I'm only dealing with lumpiness in this corner, means that this corner is being relatively kind to me. So, I'll take it. Because corners, man. Corners can have a mind of their own. They can get extremely rude. Yeah, that wasn't so bad at all. It does look like I have to adjust the shadows a little bit. But shadows are pretty easy since they're just the one solid color with a little bit of gradation. Just to make them blend in with everything a little bit more nicely. Areas with solid color are nice because you can basically do whatever you want with them and it'll look fine. I think that's why cel-shaded styles are so popular among VTuber models. Just because they are so easy. So much easier. Okay. Let's see, we still got a little wrinkle right down here, and I would like to fix that. Oh man, just working with this mesh is awful. Too many dots, too many dots. My past self tried so hard, but there's just too many. And it's like impossible to move anything with this many dots. Okay, and I still feel like there's a little lump kind of over here, so let's go de-lump some of these areas too. They're just small enough that I kind of have to click off the mesh in order to actually see them. Maybe just because I don't want to zoom in to like 1200% for this. I guess I gotta have to. In order to actually find some of these spots. Okay, let me check the shadows now. This one kind of needs to come up here a little bit more. And I think this is sticking out a bit too much down there. There we go. Let me bring you up there just a little bit more and that should be fine. Okay, let's go de-lump this corner a bit. Still need to connect the coat here. I do not want the coat to ever separate from itself, so gotta make sure it is very explicitly connected. But the rest is just lump smoothing. Which is pretty easy. See how much easier to manage this one is? I'm still using the brush to move several at once, just because it is a little bit easier, but over here it's basically a necessity. Just due to how utterly impossible it is to work with the mesh with so many dots. You see, the number of dots here, strictly speaking, do make it easier to move things around. Like, it'll move much more smoothly when you have a lot of dots. But there comes a point where the trade-off between how easy it is to move around versus how easy it is to move things around versus how smooth that movement will be, crosses a threshold. Because, I mean, if it gets too annoying to work with, you're just not gonna want to. And it'll feel bad and stuff like that. And at that point, it'll also make it so that things don't move very well, just because it's such a pain to do it. So you gotta strike that balance of less dots means that it's easier to move around, more dots means it'll move around more smoothly. And that balance must be struck, because otherwise you get this where I just complain every time I have to go touch it. I complain hard. So what all of this is telling me is that in the future, when I make another model, the important thing is that I do it with the least number of dots as possible. So I only put in more dots if it'll help me achieve the kind of movement that I want. Or maybe when I realize that I can't move it the way I want, I go in and I edit the mesh to add more dots. Maybe that kind of thing would also make sense. I think that might be a kind of workflow that I experiment with on my next one. Okay, that seems fine. Let's take a look at the shadows now. But honestly, they don't seem that bad off here. I think I want to raise this one just a little. It's coming in a little strong at the bottom. But other than that, you know, I think we're good. I think the bottom looks fine. Okay, so now it's time for hell. Let's go! Let's just get it done! I am already in pain, but you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the shadows along with this. And the big thing is that I just want to pull it out far enough that it is not clipping into her skirt. So something like that. Yeah, once that gets smoothed out, I think it'll be okay. No skirt clipping. But it will take a little bit to smooth that out. Okay, first thing, make sure that it is attached to the upper part of her coat, and then I can just kind of work my way down here. Kinda let things fan out the way that they need to, because man, the lumps here are unreal. They look so bad. It's okay, that's why I'm here, to make it so that things no longer look bad. I will just scream internally a bit, since I have to look at it until it's fixed. That's just kind of how it goes, it's fine. Over here, I just feel like things got super duper compressed, so I'm kind of trying to stretch it out a little bit and give that outer seam a little bit of its thickness back. There we go. I think that looks a bit better. And then the inner seam here got a little bit distorted, so I'm kind of trying to smooth that out a bit too. Okay. You know, that wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad at all. That's okay. I like being a little bit dramatic about it. It kind of psychs me up. Gets me ready to go in and prepare for the worst. So that this way I can go in and eventually see that all is well. That you don't need to worry so much about it, brain. It's okay. Okay. Let's see. Right here is still a little bit lumpy. But everything else is looking so much better already. Fortunately, it was all just... it looks like the worst part of it was just that some parts of it were clipping into her shoes and skirt and stuff. How does the outer end here look? Not too bad. Once again, just a couple of lumps. Just a couple of lumps I gotta work out. Just like right through there, and then a little bit right through here. But I think that's good, and that didn't actually take that long. How are the shadows? Okay. So, last one. Last corner. This time I will grab these 3. And we'll just pull out the coat enough to not be clipping into her skirt and feet. Make it look like it'll kind of be stopped by all that. Okay, and I think that kind of covers it. Coat back got pulled out a little bit more than the coat somehow. So we tuck that back in there. And now we just need to straighten it. Yeah, I think that's far enough in. Or far enough out, I should say. Okay, let's straighten that out. The last straightening for this parameter. And then we get to put it on a pendulum. Ah, the most exciting part. Actually getting to see what it looks like on the model. Rather than this kind of theoretical view that we have to start with. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's all getting nice and smooth there. All getting nice and smooth. Look at that. Just lining up those vertices. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Especially since I do kind of have to be careful with how I move things. Like, that's not looking good. Because sometimes there are things on the inside that need a little bit of smoothing too. In fact, I think I will actually, before I call this done, explicitly go through and look to make sure that I did not leave the inner coat seam super messy on some of the keyframes. Because they shouldn't be very messy either. They should be pretty straight. And if they're not, then I should have fixed them. So I'll do a quick check there as well. Alright, I think that outer side is good. Oh, I say as I catch one more little thing. 'Cause, yeah, we got a little weirdness here. Autosave. Trying to help me out, messing up how I adjust the size there, because I see the program froze for just a moment and made it think that I was dragging longer than I was. Yeah, I don't know. There's still just a couple of spots that are kind of lumpy here. See, this is another case of while it moves pretty well, it takes me a lot longer to smooth out little issues. Because there tend to be a lot more of them due to the sheer number of dots. And they leave me in pain. Yeah. There we go. Get my hip is starting to complain. Say that this is how I know I'm getting old. My hip does complain at me sometimes. But to be fair, it only does it when I've been sitting there for a couple hours, so... Hopefully I'm not too bad off, and I won't have a bad hip when I'm 50. And my foot's all tingly, so it was starting to fall asleep too. I guess I was just so focused on all the little things here. And I didn't actually notice this time. Terrifying, actually. Because, yeah, my foot not getting sufficient blood flow is actually probably pretty bad for it. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. Let me go check the seams and all of the keyframes here and make sure that there's nothing, like, egregiously bad. I don't know, right here is kind of egregiously bad, isn't it? It's not super terrible, it could be worse, but... bad enough that I kind of want to fix it. It got really thick at a couple of spots and was not very smooth in general. But I think that's fine. Okay, yeah, I think the rest are fine. Let's see how it moves. Okay, seems alright. But before I can call it done, I need to turn all the belt layers back on and see if I need to move them around a little bit, because I very well could. Yeah, I think it would be good if they got moved a little bit. So let me go grab all the belt layers. And we'll just move it a little bit. Just to keep it moving with the coat. Oh, there's one more there. And like I said, nothing too drastic, just enough to kind of keep things moving with the coat. And I do want the sleeve on. Where are you, belt layers? Oh yeah. I didn't move the shadow with it. On this side. That's actually bad. Okay, this time I'll make sure to move them together. might actually... I was gonna say it might actually be easier just to undo it and move it together, but no, it looks like the shadow's not too picky here. So this should be fine. Okay. But this time I will make sure to move it. And they will all move together. Alright, and now for up and down. Where I just do a tiny little bit of stuff just to make everything move together. I think it would just look strange if it didn't move together at all. So, I want them to do a little bit together. But this will not be the proper belt flippy. The belts are going to get their own layer. They will. Because they need to be able to flop about freely. Hey, do you guys look weird in any corners? Yeah, you look a little bit weird there. I think you do too. Actually, no, you're fine. But this, I don't like where it is. So I will move that one a little bit. Just enough to keep it on the coat where it belongs. Yeah, kind of same here. Or you just kind of need to come over here, and the other one does too. Or you just kind of need to come on over here. There we go. And I got a little bit of that going on here, but I think this one's okay, so I will leave it there. And I'll just move this one so it's properly on the coat itself. And probably also not that long. Okay, how are we now? Yep, they're kind of moving together, and I think this is fine. Look at them go. Alright, let's put this on a pendulum. I'll put it on the coat node here. And you will be Coat Cape. And I want to give you a nice long pendulum. I'm gonna give you a pretty long one there. Resonant frequency... Yeah, you guys... You don't need to be bouncing around that much, so this should be plenty. I have arbitrarily picked 80 as my translation number. So that should be okay. Let's see how it looks. Maybe I'm not moving it enough. Yeah, you're barely moving at all. You can see the red dot down in the corner here. Actually, no, you can't. It's covered up by a cloud. But I assure you, it is not moving enough. So 80 too low. Let's bring it up to like 110. So I'll try 110, and I'll see if that moves it around enough. Sorry, I'd move the parameters up a little bit higher, but, cannot! Okay, not too bad. I think I still want a little bit more, though. So I will use the output scale this time, and I will do 1, no, not 4, just 1. There we go. 1.5. Make it just go a little bit further. That's too much. 1.2. 1.2. I do appreciate that they let you do the X and the Y separately, but most of the time I don't. So it ends up just being an extra input. But I think it's worth it just to keep the option open. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I like this. I like it a lot. Alright, so I think you're good. I'm gonna put you back into the code physics category. Reset all the things, and... let's see, I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to finish it, but I'm gonna go ahead and add one more parameter to the coat. I will call you coat cape swish. Physics. Okay, yeah, I had it right. I don't think this one will have to move the belts at all because I'm literally just moving the very bottom. We're just gonna make it swish a little bit more. So I will grab my 4 coat-related layers. Get my big old brush. And this time, I just move the bottom a bit. I'm gonna try to move the top parts as little as possible. Everything should just be from about down here. I will have to move them a little bit though, just because you can see there's a big lump here. And I do need to smooth out those lumps. But once those lumps are smoothed, I want to avoid moving anything else. It's just a little bit of extra swish. Is this enough? Is this enough swish? Yeah, I think so. I think this is enough swish. I'm gonna hide the belts again. Just because they will get in the way. And I'll turn them all on at the end. I do not plan to do any belt movement in this one. This is strictly for the bottom of the coat. The only reason the belts moved in the previous one was because I thought that they needed to move a little bit relative to the coat in order to not look strange. But I do not think that is the case for just my little bit of extra swishiness at the bottom of her coat. Yep, there we go. I think that's good. Let me see how it moves. Seems fine. Alright. I already saw how disastrous trying to mirror things on these layers was on my other parameters, so I'm just gonna jump right in and do this for this one here. Like I said, not 100% sure if I'll be able to finish it today, but I will try. I will at least get it going. Because I am having a good time, and I want to do a little bit more rigging. Okay. There we go. Let's see, I think little lumpy right there. Let's smooth that out just a little bit more here. Do not want to leave any lumps here. This part should be especially swishy, so very important to eliminate any lumps that might hinder the swishiness. Personally, I just think swish is a great word, so I like to say it. It's one of those words that just makes me happy. Alright. Yep, that seems fine. Huh, they don't actually perfectly connect on the default. How strange. You know, I should probably do something about that, actually. Okay, there we go. So, by default, on whenever body XY is active, now they are connected. Yay. Okay, did that change how things are connected here? Okay, I might have to go change some of my coat-related things, but we'll see if it ends up being relevant. It is here, at least. So I will at least fix things on this parameter, since I am actively working on it. But if I do not see any problems, I probably won't go back to the other ones. Alright, up and down. I at least feel like a lot of this is pretty straightforward, so... And at least when I'm only doing the bottom, I have a lot fewer things to worry about. And I do want things to be just a little bit longer. Just a little bit. Okay, seems fine. Let's go straighten it out. I do think it's funny how ridiculous everything looks when I'm just doing like the extra swish physics like this, because it does look incredibly silly. Let's be real. It looks so silly. Nothing would ever move like this, and yet, when I attach it to the pendulum and put it on the model, it tends to look pretty good. Okay, and I think that's all the smoothing that this little guy needs. Yep, seems fine. Here, I still feel like it's a little crunchy down the side there, so I will adjust the inside parts a little bit more, make them just a little bit nicer. Gotta de-crunchify everything. Very important. Yeah, I think that's fine. And now the bottom part. Go ahead and grab all the layers. All of them. And I will just do a little bit to make it fan out once again. And before I straighten it, I want to grab the back here and once again, just lift it up a little. Just like that. Okay, I think that'll look pretty good once I smooth it out. Make it look a little bit less ridiculous. I just always enjoy how funny things look before I fix it. Gotta stay amused when you're dealing with the sea of dots here. Otherwise you'll just slowly go insane. And you'll start seeing dots everywhere. Sometimes I go out and look at the world and I'm like, how would I mesh the world? What would the wall look like if I tried to put a mesh on it so this way I could rig it and move it around like I can in all of these little universes I create? What kind of animation bones are actually in people? Where do they bend, and how can I make those things work? Because I want to be able to do proper animations too. I think that sounds like a good time. So you can bet that I'll be trying it. Okay, and I don't like the way the seam looks here, but everything else I think seems pretty okay. So let's go bring this seam back over here a little bit. Right now it just looks a little bit lost and confused. There we go. That's better. Accidentally hit the button on my mouse that increases the sensitivity. Okay, so there's just a little bit of clipping around her skirt again, but otherwise seems okay. Okay, let's just go fix the clipping there. I think that the bottom ones look okay. I will take a look at them closer up, but honestly they don't even seem particularly crunchy. Guess there's a weird lump there. Yeah, there's a couple of weird lumps. I shouldn't get too impatient. I shouldn't get too impatient. Let's make sure that everything here is nice and smooth. Otherwise the physics will not look good, and that would just be so sad. I just want to make sure that this inner seam here is also looking nice. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. So I just gotta get that last little bit of smoothing in. Make sure everything seems nice and happy. After all, I do just want all my little Vertex friends to be nice and happy. Okay, I think that's fine. Only a little bit I want to smooth out here. I think this area actually looks pretty okay. Just a couple of spots that got a little bit overly distorted through here. But otherwise, I really do think that this area is just fine. Interpolation did a good job this time. So, I get to do a little bit less work. Thank you, Interpolation. I appreciate it. I am always happy when you understand exactly what I'm trying to do. And you just get it right. Makes my life so much easier. Okay, and that seems alright. So now, just gotta make it so it's not clipping through her skirt there. That's what matters here. So I'm just gonna grab all 3 of these layers and we will just pull them on out here. Just pull it out. There we go. Stop the clipping. That seems fine. Well, clipping-wise, it's fine. I still gotta smooth it. It is not very smooth at all. Okay, but I'm glad to see that the swish physics here ended up being pretty easy, so I could finish them today. I don't think I'm feeling ambitious enough to do the belts, though. So the belts will have to wait until Wednesday. Like, if I had more time, I might grab some food and just continue on, because I do kind of want to work on it more, but I have stuff I have to do today, unfortunately, and then I have tiny humans who would probably not want to sit here and watch me stream. Although, I don't know, maybe they could just come on and talk to everyone. Just say some stuff. Provide their own commentary. Say hello to everyone on the internet today. I don't know. I don't know. I will think about it. I'm not sure if they'd tolerate it, and they might want to go and watch TV and be loud and, you know, be 5 and 3 as they are. And they need their mom for various things. So, it's fine. It can wait until Wednesday. Even if I am excited. Just gotta be patient. It's hard being patient sometimes, man. I don't like being patient. It's like, I think as people go, I generally am, but man, do I have big impatient streaks. I just want to do all the things, like, right now, but cannot. Okay, and then just a little bit more smoothing right over here, and I think all is well. Yeah, I think everything will be fine once I work out these last few little lumps here. There are a couple. And I think that's fine. So now let's stop the clipping over here. And with that, I think that will cover what I wanted to do for these physics. Just a little bit of extra swishing for the bottom of her coat. Okay, I think that should be enough. Yep, now I just need to smooth it on out. And then I'll take stock and see what's left to do. Because there's not very much. Yeah, I'll look at everything and figure it out. Get this nice and smooth. I swear the smoothing is just the most time-consuming part. It's like I feel like I have most of my ideas down within a few seconds of getting them. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but for the most part, it really doesn't. And then I just have to go in and make it look pretty, and that just takes an eternity. It's the same for a lot of the things in art, too. Where just getting everything down to the sketch, you know, maybe it takes 10 minutes, if it's a particularly detailed one. And then I spend the next week just smoothing everything out. But generally, I have all the ideas down very, very fast. That's why if you ever watch my speed paints, it's like... I mean, the way the picture is gonna look is decided pretty early on. Occasionally I struggle with the composition and stuff, but a lot of the time, you know, you see the end at the beginning. And then it's just smoothing it out. Making it all look nice. And that takes a while. Still feel like the seam especially still seems extremely lumpy. Oh my god, why are there so many dots? It's making it so hard to make this smooth. So hard. Ah, man, past self, I appreciate your effort so much, but why? Why did it have to be like this? Could have saved us both so much trouble by being a little bit more reserved with the dots. Okay, but I think I worked out most of it here. And fortunately, this will be the worst side since it's the side that I had to move around a bunch in order to stop the skirt from clipping. So, here's hoping that the other side will be a bit easier on me. Let's see, how do you look? Yeah, there's actually not too many things I want to adjust on this one. And this is also the one that has less dots. so it's less painful to move around. Hooray! Ooh, hooray indeed. Alright, I think that should be pretty good. We'll see if there's anything I want to adjust next time, but I want to hook it up to a pendulum right now. I don't care if that's not a sensible idea, I want to do it. So here we go. Let's turn on all the belts. Make sure I didn't mess with the belts too much with all of this. Oh, sure didn't. They seem fine. This is just a little bit of extra swish, so I think it'll be okay. So you will be coat, cape, swish. Okay, and you... Let's see, I don't want you to swish too hard, so I will up the length a little bit. And the rest seem fine, so let's go ahead and make it move around. I'll move it around as much as I did the code itself. So we'll do 110. And possibly output scaling if this doesn't quite do it. Alright, let's see it. Oh yeah. See how much smoother it looks with just that extra parameter? So, I think that looks pretty good. So I guess I'll take some stock at what's left and then wrap up for today. So, I still have the belts in the coat. And I have her little triangle buddy up here that I currently have hidden. I do want to put a little bit of stuff on him. And then I think it's just a matter of maybe... Oh yeah, and I have to put the physics on body Z still. I haven't done that, but that'll be pretty easy since they're all rigged. It's just a matter of going down the list and actually, like, copying over the values. Making sure that things actually move. And then it's just a matter of touching the areas that maybe I'm a little bit unsatisfied with. Like, the belt flippy I still don't quite like. The sleeves I think look fantastic, and I love all of this, so I think we're good there. And then I might want to take another look at her hair. I don't know. When I look at the model next to me, you know, where it's actually being controlled by my head, I'm still not entirely happy with how it moves. I just do not think it looks very smooth. So I kind of want to take a look at it. And then at some point I might just do some staring at the model, you know, just in my the thing that actually controls it here. All right, I just take a look around and see if there's anything that I want to adjust on it. And for that, I'll probably do one where she's zoomed in like this, and then another one where she's zoomed out, and there'll just be 3 of us in here that time, and that's fine. So I'll probably do a little bit with that, and, you know, just that kind of stuff. So yeah, not much left, just basically a little bit on the belts, her triangle buddy that's hiding right now, and making sure that it's on body Z while she wiggles like this, and then just touching things up and making sure that I'm satisfied. But then everything will be done. Ah, it's exciting! Approaching the end! And then I will draw something else. We'll see if I want to animate it. I think doing an animated illustration sounds fun. It's a bit less commitment than a full model like this. Oh, yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. But this is where I will be stopping today with just a little bit more happy wiggle than I had last time. So thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.